Well, good morning, YouTube. It's a little bit after 10 a.m. on this Wednesday morning here in Deadwood. And once again, there was some stuff going on this morning. People gathering for rides and then they've disappeared. No business yet other than selling a can of Miracle Wash. So we're taking advantage of the slow period. And if you guys remember, when we were at Iowa 80 last week, I bought another CB to put in the dually. Now that Alan's here with the dually, we're in the process of installing it. It's just a really simple unit. So it's a President Bill 2. It's a very, very small, super tiny radio. And then we just did the magnetic roof mount to keep things simple there. We've already stuck the magnet to the roof. We've routed the cable behind the weather stripping under the dash. Now Alan is preparing a spot to mount the CB to the lower part of the dash. This unit just plugs into the cigarette lighter outlet, which is kind of convenient. Not real crazy with the way it looks, but maybe we'll rewire that someday. But yeah, look how small that little CB unit is. All right, we got our first job in about 11:30. Alan was successful at installing the CB radio in Goliath. Yeah, in the dually. I meant the dually, not Goliath. We already had one in Goliath. We haven't done a radio check yet, but when we're done with this bike, we'll go in there and make some noise. All right, guys, so Alan got done with that Can-Am, so now we're gonna do our radio check. Let's see if this works. Now, you know, when you're using the radio, you gotta talk like a redneck. That's just what you gotta do. Breaker 19, breaker 19. Can anybody get a radio check out there? You got your ears on? Anybody hear me? Holler back now. Is Hammer Knocker making any noise now?
That's what I see. Battery loud and clear.
10-4, thank you, sir. All right, it works.
Well, where's the bonus to text on this thing?
Breaker 19, can anybody get a radio check out there? You got your ears on? Anybody hear me? Holler back now. Is Hammer Knocker making any noise now?
This Lost Sheep, I read you loud and clear.
10-4, thank you, sir.
Oh, where's the buttons to text on this thing?
Hi guys, it's about 4 o'clock. Wow, has it been a boring day here so far. That one Can-Am is the only thing we've done. Chip threw his bike up in the lift, did a little work to it. I've had Dr. Evil up and down off the lift a couple of times. I actually had an issue riding home from St. Ange Bar last night. Actually, it started as I noticed we were pulling into the parking lot. The temperature light was on Dr. Evil, and it was reading a really high temperature, much higher than I've normally seen. So anyway, we were there, so I just shut it off, and then we came back out after eating. Everything seemed fine, but by the time we got back over here, it was running too hot again. So this morning I decided I'd take a look at it and see, and everything seems to be working fine, and now it's not running hot. So I wonder if it's just like a weird computer glitch yesterday that was not allowing either the water pump to work or the fan to work, or maybe it was just misreading a temperature. Maybe everything was working fine. I don't know, but today it's not doing it. I was a tiny bit low on coolant, but I might have only put a couple of ounces in there. I don't really think that was the problem. But yeah, it all seems to be fine. But other than that, I'm just going over the bike and making sure it's ready for the road trip. I'm not quite at the 5,000 mile service yet. I was hoping I'd be there before we do the trip, but I still need about 800 miles. So I'll probably end up doing the 5,000 mile service on it after we get home from our trip. But there's a couple little buzzes and rattles that were annoying me, where the crossover pipe goes to the left side. The clamp was loosely fit on it, so it would just sit there and rattle. And, you know, for a brand new bike, I hate to hear rattles. So made some modifications and fixed that stuff and some other adjustments, but nothing major. So it's so boring over here. Our vendor neighbors are playing some kind of game where they're throwing stuff out of their booth and trying to land it in squares drawn on the pavement. I don't know the full object of the game, but All right, guys, it's 6 o'clock, and we still haven't had a second customer today, just that one. And I think we're all kind of bored of sitting around, so there just wasn't really that return to the rodeo grounds after the rides like we usually get. So the band's over there starting to play. A few people are gathering, but there's just not that many people here. West of Cindy already closed up, actually. And all right, well, I changed my mind. That was the most exciting thing that's happened all day. Some beautiful horses walking by with a carriage. But yeah, so we're closing up. I think Katie is still like in a class or a meeting or something like that. So the weather's beautiful. The wind is picking up. So we had to strap things down a little bit extra. But I don't know, maybe we'll go for a ride or something. All right, so it's almost 8 o'clock now. And I can't help but to feel like this video today is just going to be so terribly boring. There really wasn't anything going on. We only serviced one motorcycle. And then around 6, we closed. By about 7, Katie and I and Alan went to Walmart, the grocery shop. Now, Katie took the truck because she needed to get quite a bit of groceries. And, she went up the mountain to spearfish the quick way. Alan and I got fuel and went the long way through Cheyenne Crossing and Spearfish Canyon. And it was a lot of fun. Luckily, it was late enough in the evening. There wasn't a lot of traffic on the road, and we were able to carry a good pace and have some fun. And in fact, Alan had commented when we got there, he's like, that was fun. So Alan doesn't consider himself that great of a rider, but I think he does better than he thinks he does. But he does need to learn a little bit of technique. But he'll get there, right? Anyway, we did our grocery shopping, and then we came back. We just came back to Shortwood because it is getting dark, and there is a lot of wildlife on Spearfish Canyon sometimes, especially in these dusk hours. So I just didn't want to mess with it. So we just jumped on the interstate, and then 85 down over the mountain here. You see, there's still a couple of people over there partying, but not many. I think there's 4 motorcycles in the entire parking lot. I mean, not counting ours back here, obviously. People over here walking their dogs. This big grass area, people love it to bring their pets out here. Even though the business here hasn't been that fantastic, at least we've had the opportunity to rack up some miles on the motorcycle. I mean, the last 4 days, I've put almost 400 miles on my motorcycle, which is pretty nice. Even tasks like going to the store is a decent ride, having to run to Rapid City to pick up parts. I mean, that was almost a 100-mile round trip right there. Today, I did a test ride on the bike to make sure the cooling system was good. I think I actually did like 20 or 25 miles, and then to the store and back. I don't even know how many miles it was total, but it was enjoyable, and that's what matters. Enjoyable miles. It's one of the reasons we love this rally, because the scenery is beautiful, the riding is beautiful, and it's been great. So I'm sorry that business wasn't that great today. There wasn't a lot of footage of motorcycles or people walking around. There just wasn't really anything to show. But I hope you enjoyed it anyways. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to all of the things. And until the next time we see you, keep those engines running.